Are you craving a sweet treat without a sugar crash? Get ready to indulge in our guilt-free, no sugar copycat almond joy bars. Welcome back to your channel for longevity. I'm Dr. Joanette, your longevity expert. And in this video, you are going to discover how to create a mouth-watering coconut filling using natural sweeteners. Also, the secret to achieving that perfect chocolate coating without, again, adding any extra sugar. And lastly, why MCTs or medium chain triglycerides from coconut oil and coconut make these bars a brain healthy, keto friendly, delicious powerhouse. So say goodbye to store-bought candy bars and say hello to a healthier homemade alternative that will satisfy your sweet tooth. So let's dive in and make some delicious, guilt-free almond joy bars. To get started, we are going to be using coconut, and I've already prepared the molds for the coconut bars by putting 2 almonds in each well of the mold here. I'm going to set that aside and make room for our mixing bowl. Into this, I'm adding 2 cups of shredded coconut and 3/4 of a cup of coconut cream. Here's my simple and smart tip for this recipe. Put your coconut cream in the refrigerator and it will make it much easier to separate the cream from the watery portion of the coconut cream. Use the watery portion in a delicious smoothie, or even just put it in your coffee, or you can also add it to a curry or something like that. There's lots of ways that you can use up that extra coconut cream. In addition to that, we're gonna sweeten it a little bit today with some maple syrup. About 2 tablespoons of the maple syrup. That might have been a bit more. And a pinch of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon if you're measuring it. I'm going to set the chocolate aside because we're going to be dipping them in the chocolate later on. And now we're going to mix that all up and put it in those wells on our bowl. Smells delicious. Got that all mixed up. And we're going to put it into our mold. If you scroll down below, you will see a link that'll take you out to where you can purchase a mold. And I just press it down into the mold with a spatula, or if you like to use your fingers, you could use your fingers as well. Main thing is you want to get that mold nice and filled with the coconut. I kind of use a combination of my fingers and the spatula. I'm just going to go ahead, and I finished filling them all, and what I like to do is take an offset spatula and just press down on each well just to make sure that they're nicely compressed into each well, and then they're going to go into the freezer for about 30 minutes probably. You want them to get nice and pretty much frozen before you dip them in the chocolate. That helps them stay together and helps them get coated with the chocolate a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to put them on something that's level because while they freeze, you want the wells to be nice and level and even. Otherwise, you're going to have funny looking copycat almond joy bars. So I'm going to put that in the freezer here. If you found this information informative so far, thank you for clicking that like button as well as ringing that notification bell. While our almond joy bars are chilling in the freezer, let's go ahead and melt the chocolate. They've been in there probably about 20 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and melt up the chocolate. I have 7 ounces here of 100% cocoa dark chocolate that I've chopped up and I'm putting in a bowl. I like to melt the chocolate by microwaving it. You can either microwave it or you can heat it in a double boiler on the stove. Either way works great. Just be careful if you heat it in the double boiler, you don't get any moisture in it because it will cause the chocolate to what's called seize up, which is basically ruins your chocolate. In the microwave, you don't want to heat it for too long of a time without stirring it in between. About 30 seconds is the maximum you should heat it without stirring it. And I add a little coconut oil to the chocolate to help it be a little smoother smoother. For that 7 ounces, about 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I'm going to start with about a tablespoon there, and I may add more in depending upon how thin the chocolate is. You want it nice and thin so that it kind of coats your Almond Joy bars nice and smooth. So let's go ahead and melt up the chocolate. Our chocolate is nicely melted, and what you want is you want a real smooth chocolate that just kind of runs off of the spoon when you do something like this. Because this will coat your candy bar with just a nice amount of chocolate. I went ahead and took our candy out of the mold. When you take the candy out of the mold, what you want to do is you want to just gently push from the bottom. So if the candy's in the mold, like it's actually going to be in there like this, you want to just gently from below push it out from the bottom rather than try to pry it out from the top, because that will cause it to break. To coat them, I take a fork and just set them on the fork there, and then just drizzle them with the chocolate. Just let it run all over them so that they're nicely coated. And then I think we need another fork here. We'll just put that on there, and I'm going to use my finger to just slide it off, but you're going to want to put it on your fork. We've got an offset spatula to slide it off with now. It's coated real well. Smells delicious, looks delicious. Can't wait to taste it. And then once you get it coated, let it drip a little bit there. Get most of the chocolate off of it. Just slide it off gently onto your parchment coated. A little bit messy, but gets the job done. This seems to be the best way that I've figured out how to coat your candy bars. If anytime you're making something that's chocolate coated like this, that you want to individually coat them, this seems to work. One of the better ways that I've discovered to do it. And you want to make sure you've got some parchment on your baking sheet so that once it's cooled, it'll come off the baking sheet easily. You're not going to have as chocolate on the bottom of them, but to me that doesn't matter if I don't have chocolate on the bottom of them. You actually do get some chocolate on the bottom of them. Another way that you can dip these bars is when you put them on your fork, let them kind of hang off the end of your fork. What that does is it lets you slide your offset spatula. If you don't have an offset spatula, scroll down to below. There will be a link there that can take you out to where you can purchase an offset spatula. And I like to try to make sure I get at least the sides, all the sides and the top and the bottom coated. Then when it's time to take your bar off of your fork, you just kind of slide it onto your offset spatula and gently put it on your parchment lined cookie sheet. Another way that works just as well, it's probably a little bit better than leaving it on your fork and then trying to slide it onto your parchment cookie lined sheet. We'll do one more here. Check all around, make sure it's all nicely coated. Slide it off onto our offset spatula and gently put it on your parchment lined cookie sheet. And there you have it, your very own batch of delicious no sugar copycat Almond Joy bars. Remember, with these bars, you're not just satisfying your craving, but also nourishing your body with the goodness of almonds, coconut, and those energy boosting MCTs. If you go to growwithdrjoanette.com, you'll be able to find the full recipe there, as well as explore more healthy and delicious ideas for how you can turn on your longevity switch. So if you love this recipe, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more guilt-free treats and healthy cooking recipes. Let's give one of them a try. Lots of coconut, dark chocolate, and delicious goodness. Not too sweet, nice crunch with the almond, and love that dark chocolate. Until next time on the Dr. Joanette channel, happy baking and enjoy your sugar-free copycat Almond Joy bars.